No, get. Go on, get. Check. Welcome to LA Press Box, everybody. We're glad you're with us as the Dodgers and the Kansas City Royals wrap up their 3-game series tonight at Dodger Stadium. Whether you're blacked out, away from a television, listening on the road, or simply looking for a deeper way to follow Dodgers baseball, LA Press Box is your live game companion. Our command center will handle the live numbers and game information while we focus on the recent trends, pitching matchups, tendencies, and stories. LA comes into this finale of the 3-game series after a dramatic 5-4 victory in 10 innings yesterday. Blake Snell was outstanding in his return after 3 months, striking out 10 batters over 6 innings. Max Muncy eventually singled home Shohei Ohtani for the walk-off victory in the 10th inning. The Dodgers have taken the first 2 games of this series by a combined 2 runs, but tonight they go for the sweep, which is saying something, although it is against the Royals compared to where they were during the 7-game losing streak. And of course, we're all hoping, if you're a Dodgers fan, that they're leaving that in their rearview mirror. However, the record still reflects recently the damage that's been done to because of that streak. But the great news is that the Dodgers have won 3 of their last 4 games. And there are a lot of encouraging developments underneath those recent victories. They're beginning to produce important hits with runners aboard and create offense without depending exclusively on home runs. In fact, they've made this work with almost no home runs, although Mookie Betts did hit a solo home run last night, and that was the only Dodger run for several innings. They've gotten stronger performances from the starting rotation. Needless to say, Blake Snell coming back last night gave them a big lift, and of course, Tarek Skubal has been a welcome addition. They're surviving close games late and getting over the hump. So the last 2 nights have been particularly important, with the Dodgers not just winning last night 5-4, but the night before that over the Royals by a score of 6-5. During a difficult stretch in which late game execution had really been hurting Los Angeles, winning consecutive 1-run games, that actually represents progress. As far as the Kansas City Royals go, they, of course, have different expectations for their team. They have some really good young players, especially at the top of their batting order and on defense, especially at shortstop, with a star, really, in Bobby Witt Jr. I think there's a bright future for Kansas City with some great pieces that they can build around. So while the Royals haven't been winning consistently, they really demonstrated that they're capable of creating offensive pressure, especially on the Dodgers pitching and their catching staff, because they are using 2 catchers that are, waiver wire pickups, if you will, although technically they were traded for. Bobby Witt Jr. really is the centerpiece of what Kansas City wants to do. As far as the matchups for tonight, as usual, you can see over my shoulder in our command center that Eric Lauer gets the start for the Dodgers. And he's been an important piece of the rotation this season because he generally gives LA a chance to win without requiring overpowering velocity or enormous strikeout totals. You definitely don't expect him to be anything like Blake Snell was last night. His success comes primarily through changing speeds and locating around the strike zone and keeping hitters off balance, and hopefully controlling enough to limit walks. As usual, we'll be looking early on at what kind of control this starting pitcher has, as we do for all starters in the Dodger rotation. And in particular, looking to see if they're going to give up the home run ball early, because that has plagued the Dodgers over the last month. You can see Lauer's numbers there. He's 6-6. His 6 wins ranks him 107th in baseball. His ERA is rather high. It's 4.89. His WHIP is up there a little bit too with 1.26. And not the best ratio in terms of strikeouts to walks. If you go back a couple of starts for him, on July 22nd at Philadelphia, he lasted 5 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts with 1 walk. And that was a competitive start against really a good and dangerous Phillies lineup. They have some bats that can not only get hits, but hit the long ball. And there was some damaging contact during that start for him, but he did prevent the game from getting away from him and gave LA enough length to eventually win that game. You go back 2 starts to July 29th versus Seattle. He went 6 innings, gave up only 1 hit and no runs with 4 strikeouts and a walk. And Seattle simply couldn't generate meaningful contact against him. Lauer controlled the strike zone, changed speeds as we're hoping that he does tonight, as well as disrupting the batters. Then there was August 5th at Chicago, where he went 4 innings and gave up 6 earned runs. Completely different experience, although against, in my opinion, one of the best teams in baseball. Cubs produced Lauer's roughest start since he joined the Dodgers. Instead of weak contact, they began driving his mistakes, and instead of working efficiently through the innings, he was forced into damage control. And so he had an early out there. So we'll see how it goes for him tonight. As far as the defense, underneath him and behind him, Kevin Fiducia, one of those 2 catchers that are tag teaming right now, gets the start behind the plate. Freddie Freeman at first. They go Rojas at second. Freddie Betts, sorry. Mookie Betts at shortstop. Max Muncy at third. Teoscar Hernandez gets another opportunity to be in the starting lineup after last night being on the bench but being inserted late. In fact, he and Kyle Tucker have kind of taken turns the last 2 nights having that role, but tonight the person that sits initially will be Tommy Edman, who's been a part of the starting lineup for quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes off the bench tonight late too. And of course, Andy Pages is going to be in center field. He had a little bit of egg on his face last night when he tried to make a big play late and fumbled the ball that he had caught and fielded in his glove out of his hand. That allowed an extra run to score for the Royals. But really, it was an outstanding outing for the Dodgers last night, and that included at the plate. So in addition to the home run that he hit, Mookie Betts also had a double and a single, and especially at crucial times, Max Muncy really was kind of the guy that got the Dodgers over the hump and was in a way a hero 2 nights in a row, in addition to people like Mookie Betts offensively, who was the offensive engine, and Blake Snell, who was really a gem on the mound for the Dodgers. We took a look at the rankings for the Royals offensive, their offense over the course of the season, so I'm not going to say that one more time. But I will go through their lineup for tonight. So Lofton, once again, speedy runner, is playing second base, is the first in the lineup to face the Dodgers, and he's been a problem, especially 2 games ago. He got on base every single time he came up. Bobby Witt Jr. had a very different night last night at the plate compared to 2 nights ago when he was 0 He's in the second spot. Jack Caglianone, who's probably been the biggest thorn in the Dodgers' side from a batting standpoint, is once again in the third spot, playing first base tonight. In the cleanup spot will be Salvador Perez playing catcher. Last night he was the DH. Starling Marte is in right field at the 5th spot. Carter Jensen, the DH, at 6th. Isaac Collins in left field at 7th spot. Tyler Tolbert in center field at 8th. And Josh Rojas bringing up the rear at third base. That brings us to the other side of the ledger with Daniel Lynch IV. You can see his numbers there. Lynch is 4-3 with an ERA of 2.45, a WHIP almost exactly 1, with 37 strikeouts and 14 walks. And He presents an unusual matchup because he spent most of the season pitching out of the bullpen rather than functioning as a conventional starting pitcher. That's why you don't see him have bigger numbers compared to what you would expect a normal starting pitcher to be. But he's been very effective in a relief role, attacking hitters aggressively and using his left-handed angle effectively. And lefties have recently been giving the Dodgers some fits at times. Although, of course, we've said that they've been better late. As far as the defense behind him, we kind of just said that as we went through the batting order. And once again, like just about every pitcher and every defense, they are facing one of the most potent offenses in baseball, who hopefully now are getting more in rhythm and able to produce offensively in a synchronized fashion to be able to push runs across the plate. Lineup for tonight, the batting order is Shohei Ohtani in the DH position. As you can see, all highlighted in yellow. He's elite in top 20 in every batting category in baseball. Andy Pages goes back to his second spot in center field, and he's always hanging around at the elite status and the yellow box for RBI. Right now he's at 76. Freddie Freeman, after switching order with Andy last night, goes back to their customary order, so he's batting again in third spot, and he's batting 305. Kyle Tucker gets to be the cleanup tonight in right field. Mookie Betts is in fifth, not quite hot enough recently to get to that cleanup spot, and honestly I think Dave Roberts just wants him to feel productive and not mess his routine up. Max Muncy's all over the place. He probably doesn't complain about that. He can be up high in the order or way down below and always be dangerous. Just the last two games has reminded us of that. Teoscar Hernandez is in the seventh spot. Hunter Fiducia is actually in eighth. And then Miguel Rojas is at the bottom of the lineup, which is surprising to me. As you can see, the first column there shows that his batting average is 287. It's one of the highest batting averages of anybody on the Dodgers. In fact, there's nobody other than Shohei and Freddie that have higher batting averages, including Tommy Edman, who was super hot for over a month. So I'm not exactly sure why he's down there, other than Dave Roberts going, I want to have a little pop down there, especially in crucial situations like we've faced late in games, the last two games, in one-run victories, and maybe try to get a head start at the top of the lineup. And give Shohei a different look in front of him, maybe. Because Shohei was 0 for 5 last night, and needless to say, that does not happen very often. So with a little less than 5 minutes left to the first pitch, we are going to go back to our polls. And so in the chat, I'm going to give you a question that was, we have a series of questions, but I think we're going to stick with the one that came up the most last night. And if you haven't voted yet, do that now. But there were 4 options, and really, we were going back and forth. Everybody voted number 2 last night in the chat, me included. I announced too that Dodgers were going to hold on, and that is not what happened. We went to extra innings. The Dodgers technically had to have a comeback, and so everybody kind of struck out, if you will, in terms of that prediction. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to go ahead and vote on this. Put 1 in the chat if you think tonight is going to be a Dodgers comeback. Currently, it's 13% of the responses. 2 if the Dodgers are going to hold on for the victory tonight. 3 if they're going to go to extra innings. And put 4 in the chat if you think the opponent's going to win. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get the live loaded. And I'll come back to this poll periodically tonight. All right, we are close to the first pitch, and this has been a good, exciting series. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. After tonight, the Dodgers have 4 games back to back. They continue to play every single day this week, but those games are going to be against the team with the best record in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. Once again, if you have not yet, go ahead and get in the chat now before the first pitch and cast your vote. Type 1 in the chat if you think it's going to be a Dodgers comeback tonight. 2 if you think the Dodgers are going to hold on. 3 if you think it's going to go to extra innings. And 4 if you think the Royals are going to win. Last night, we all, me included, voted for 2. We're all wrong. Dave Roberts looks more perky tonight. Looks less stressed, more upbeat. Definitely helps that the Dodgers have won 3 of 4 now. Flowers started 15 of 18 games this year. And as we said before, his ERA is just a little under 5. Pitched a total of 92 innings. And it looks like the 3D has loaded. And he's going to lead off against Lofton. One thing that helps the Dodgers at this point with winning the last 2 games is, and with yesterday's loss by Arizona and the win by the Padres, who crushed the Brewers, I think it was 11-1, is those 2 teams are fighting for the scraps behind the Dodgers. I believe they're each 8.5 games behind. And the 3D is showing accurately the Royals uniforms, who are coming out for the second straight night in the powder blue and the white lettering and numbering. Beautiful evening in Dodgerland. LA is currently about 73 degrees. And the game is underway with Lauer's first pitch to Lofton. Just misses outside for ball 1. And the next one is driven to center field and somewhat shallow, but Andy Pages makes the catch. And quickly, we have 1 away. And that leads to Bobby Witt Jr. coming up, who had himself a night last night at the plate. 2 nights ago, he was over. Always a delight to watch in the field. because he's so athletic and so skilled as a Golden Glove winner at shortstop. He's batting .283. He has 13 home runs. That one catches the inside of the strike zone. So the early count to Witt Jr. is 1-1. That one misses. Well outside and high for ball 2. And that one is swung on and missed inside. Well placed by Lauer. Lauer really looking to bounce back after the Cubs got to him quickly. And this one is swung on to right field, and it's going to carry and stay in bounds and then bounce over the fence before Kyle Tucker can get to it. So it's going to be a ground rule double. So with one out, as you can see in, well, it hasn't come up yet in our command center in the top left part of the screen, but it will very quickly here. We have a man on second with one out, and the guy who has plagued the Dodgers the most in this series at the plate is coming up in the 3 spot, Lindor. Honored recently by the Italian government. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Got to keep an eye on Bobby Witt. Look at how far he is jumping off of second base over there. Oh, look back there, Lauer. Don't lose track of him. Look at him drifting off the base. Come on now. Look back there, but it looks like a token look. Oh, this one's driven deep to left, and it's going to curve foul, thankfully for Dodgers fans. And all it is a long strike. But like I said, this guy has plagued the Dodgers. That was about 4 rows deep, just about 4 feet left of the foul pole. So close call for all us Dodger fans. But if you're not a Dodger fan, go ahead and let us know in the chat. In fact, type 1 if you're a Dodger fan. Type 2 if you're a Royals fan. And this one is also fouled off. Not nearly as far and not nearly as scary. And I believe that the Padres now are in second place. There you go. Good to have you, Alaska. And this one is hit to right. Kyle Tucker's busy early. It's going to be really shallow, but he slides and makes the catch and gets the ball back in quickly so that Bobby Witt Jr. cannot tag up. Nice job by Kyle Tucker. So Perez comes up. Perez has 51 RBI. And, of course, he's got an opportunity for another one here as he swings and misses at a well-placed pitch just at the top edge of the strike zone. Big man. Good power. Batting average is only .214. Oh, and he Look at that. Look at the ball frozen in the air. So he hits Perez. And Perez does what I think more batters should do, especially if you're a big man like Perez. Just stand there and take it. And apparently he froze the ball when it comes to 3D in midair because he's a big dude. I'm telling you right now. And it just hit him on the, like, looks like on the tricep, right where the pad is. I mean, these guys have pads all over the place. And of course, I don't want to see him on base, but like I said, I don't know why more guys don't do that. Now Marte's coming up with runners at first and second. And swings and misses at that one. Another well-placed ball, though. Bauer's in a little bit of trouble early, but I actually like his control right now. Marte's batting .245. Only has 2 home runs and only 14 RBI. And look at that pitch. Ooh. Painting the strike zone. Perfectly placed on the upper outside corner. You couldn't dot that corner any better. I'm trying to think of a metaphor for dotting corners, and I can't think of one. I don't know if there is one. So 0-2 to Marte. And this pitch misses just high. Not a bad idea by Lauer, trying to attack the same part of the strike zone. And he had a pitch to waste. It's 1-2 now. Might not be a bad time to come inside and low now. Marte, give him a different look. If I was catching, that's what I would suggest, but I don't know any of that. This is with that one. Oh, yeah, totally, I could take a hit. Play catcher, there were a few collisions. That's why my nickname was A-Train. So, a count to Marte that started 0-2 is suddenly full. Lauer steps off the rubber, collects himself. Do what it takes to not walk this guy, dude. Don't throw 4 straight balls. Yeah, nice placement. I love that pitch. Low inside. I would have gone there a little bit earlier. Not that I know much. But I fouled off by Marte, and he stays alive. Which is accumulating a little bit in this at-bat. This pitch fouled off to the right. And you can see the runners going. This is what happens when there's 2 strikes and full count. They'll do the same thing again in a minute. See them go run all the way back, touch the base, and then they're going to get a lead again and get ready to sprint as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. So I've seen lefties use this situation to pick off the runner at first. It's not worth it to potentially throw the ball away. And that one's a called strike 3. It looked like it was inside, but there is no challenge. We'll take it, Dodgers fans. Holy smokes. First strikeout of the game, first appearance by the animated Charlie. And we go to the bottom of the first, and the early score is the Royals are scoreless. you know who set to come up. A minute to go to our other command center. And you can see here on the right-hand side, all that gold is Shohei Ohtani. Anybody that's top 20 in the league, I classify that as elite. And that's why I have a command center that's constantly updating whenever stats update. And that's why sometimes you'll see Andy Pajes in the RBI category go from gold to non-gold or vice versa in the course of one game. You'll be able to see also within the command center in the top above the balls and strikes the updated odds, the betting odds on the game. So 3D's getting said. Ohtani is not the umpire, but starts with a strike on 1. There he is, beaming in like Star Trek. And the next pitch is fouled back for strike 2. Next pitch on the way. And gets Ohtani looking. So going back to yesterday, Ohtani is 0 for his last 6. So Andy Pajes comes up, batting an even 270. As I mentioned before, he has 76 RBI with 19 home runs. And fouls that one off. Andy's got two patterns, as far as I can tell, when he's up there. He likes to swing at the first pitch, or he'll start slow, and then he'll foul a bunch off until he gets what he wants, or he walks. This is outside for ball 1. And that one also misses outside. Now the count's 2-1. Great outing last night for Blake Snell. I mean, gosh, I can see why the guy used to be a Cy Young winner. It's fun watching the post-game press conference with him. I think this is just his demeanor. He looked like he was high. I mean, that's just kind of how his face looks. And he was talking about how he couldn't pitch effectively until he got back to Dodger Stadium. Oh, boy, that one catches the inside corner. Now it's full count to Andy. But, boy, he was anything but laid back on the mound. I mean, he was tearing these guys up. Now you combine him with Tarek Skubal, Yamamoto, and lately Roki Sasaki. And that one is line foul to the left. Ooh. That could have been some trouble. Landed foul beyond third base. Otherwise, it could have been a double. Not sure if you guys want me to spin it so you can see the ball even when it goes foul or not. And that one did foul as well. This is starting to turn in to the latter of the types of at-bats that I talked about with Andy. He drives the pitch count up until he gets what he likes, or he draws a walk. And that one's a called strike. And Andy challenges it. What? Andy's been doing this way too much lately. He's burning challenges early in the game with nobody on base. Not a crucial defining moment. And the word is that Dave Roberts is, when I talked about this a couple games ago, that Dave Roberts is getting close to banning some guys from using the challenge system because they're greedy early on. So now Freddie Freeman comes up, batting .305, and looks at the first pitch for a strike. But like I was saying a couple of games ago, like football coaches, like myself, we would never allow that. We would never say, hey, man, call whatever whenever you want, just go ahead and call timeout. Burn one of our 3 timeouts. I'm trying to find an equal parallel. I know, and I know it's a different culture. And Freddie swings and misses at that one. But I mean, there at this point, there are certain guys like Andy. I would ban him. I would say you don't know. You're not allowed to challenge because you're wrong too often, and you do it in terrible situations. So now Freddie grounds to first, and his counterpoint picks it up and does so right after it curls foul. So Freddie's still alive. And that one's fouled off by Freddie. There would either be certain guys that I give the green light to. I probably have like 3 or 4 modes, if you will, as Freddie chases a ball that's low and outside for strike 3. So Lynch, the fourth, strikes out all 3 of the first 3 Dodger batters. But I'd probably do some kind of like 4-tier system, right? If you're just like an absolute boss and you're great at judging where the strike zone is, and you're especially good under pressure, maybe, the rare baseball player, you just have the green light, right? And we are going to be transitioning to football in a couple of weeks, and we'll be doing Dodgers plus LA football. But yeah, or maybe some guys would have, and I would like maybe change it game by game at different points in the season. So maybe Freddie Freeman, maybe Miguel Rojas, the guys that are like have proven time and time and time again. Maybe Max Muncy, I don't know, that they are clutch players. You'd maybe be eligible for the green light that day, right? And then, I don't know. Let's just say we're going to stick with colors. Then there's certain guys on the other end of the spectrum you're not allowed to challenge ever today, unless I tell you otherwise. You're in the red zone. And then there'd be guys in the middle, right? Where it's like, okay, you can challenge in this situation, or I can tell you before you go up there whether you have the option to challenge or not. Because we're burning them early and we're not using them at the crucial moments in the game that really ultimately determine the outcome. If you agree with all of that rant, put 1 in the chat. If you don't, and that's perfectly fine, put 2. You're like, no, you're too controlling. You can't be a football coach and have that mentality in baseball. So, just getting underway, and now Eric Lauer goes back to the mound after escaping a little bit of trouble in the first. And we go to the top of the second. He's going to face Jensen. Jensen in the 6th spot is batting .224. 16 home runs on the season. All right, we do have a 1 in the chat. Okay to disagree if you want to type 2 and say no. The next pitch misses high for ball 1, 1-1. And I didn't play I didn't play baseball, although I played for several years beyond high school. So I get that this is a different level of competition, but I still think certain principles are principles. As Jensen fouls that one off, now the count's 1-2. That one swung on miss for strike 3. So another strikeout for Lauer. If I sound just a little bit tired, it's because I was at jury duty all day. Quite the schlep. I live on one end of the county. I had to go to the other end of the county to report for jury duty, and it took the entire day. And I was actually selected to go into the room for trial. And that first pitch is in there for a strike to Collins, who's a 7-hitter, and he's batting .235. There were 51 people in that room. As the next pitch misses for a ball. And one of the things that they did to poll the jury pool to decide who was going to be on the jury or not was say what city you're from. I don't really know why that was relevant, but Holland swings and misses at the next one. Be on the verge of a third strikeout. We'll see here shortly. And when I said the city I'm in, there were groans, including the judge. The judge actually said, "Oh, sorry about that." As that one is actually fly to Kyle Tucker, who's been very busy early. But he makes the catch without any trouble, just short of the warning track. Now 2 are away for Eric Lauer. And no home runs given up so far. That's a good sign for any Dodgers pitcher, especially as of late. And now he's going to face Tyler Tolbert, who's batting .318. And that's a higher average than anybody on the Dodgers. But he doesn't have nearly as many at-bats. I think he's short of 100. Because that one is fouled back. That's why when we look at the command center, he's not highlighted in yellow. Because there's kind of a minimum sample size that we use and the Major League use. That one misses for a ball. Lauer with the pitch to Tolbert, and a nice changeup, 88 miles an hour. That fools him well outside and a little bit low. Now the count's 1-2. That one misses way inside. The count's 2-2. So far, so decent for Lauer. I do not take for granted when our pitchers, especially as of late, don't give up home runs and don't give up runs early. That one's high, and now the count's full with two outs. Full count pitch, misses, high and outside, and he walks Tolbert. The last guy you want to walk. This guy is a blazer. And I don't think we have a catcher that can play right now that can throw him out. So, fortunately, Lauer is a left-handed pitcher. So, as you can see, he can look directly over at this guy's eyeballs. And so, don't try it. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws over there once early, try to keep him tight. He's already kind of just over the cut. And he steals the first pitch. And not even close. I mean, gosh, this guy looks like a football player who had enough sense to play baseball. That's his 17th steal of the season. Why did Lauer not throw over there at least once? I mean, to give us a fighting chance and keep him a little bit closer to the base. So now, 2 outs. Tolbert's in scoring position. He's on second base. You get a base hit from Rojas, he's going to score. Rojas is up in the 9th spot, trying to do just that with a .235 average. This one is swung on, and it's going to drop into right field. Watch how easily Tolbert's going to come in and score. I'm sure. Lauer's going to back it up. Yeah, like, don't even try to throw it home. It's a waste of time. Look at that guy. Just a blur on the screen as he crosses home plate. And that's not even full speed for the guy. Gosh. Oh, man. Come on now. Gosh. And it's totally self-inflicted. Totally self-inflicted. I mean, could we have kept him on first base? It's hard to say. But let's put up a fight at least. Especially because Lauer is a lefty. He can look straight at that guy and throw to first. It's nothing like with a right-handed pitcher whose back's to first base. Oh, now he throws to first. And he's not even going over there very fast. It's almost like a token throw. But, of course, it's Lauer's fault that he put him on base by walking him in the first place, too. So, no early home run, but an early run. And this is another speedy guy, Lofton. Lofton's 0 for 1 so far. And these catchers that we have right now, both of them, are very similar. We got right before the trade deadline because Will Smith's still a long way off from potentially coming back. And they just have very average arms. Dalton finally throws, sorry, not Dalton. Lauer throws home after 2 throws to first now. But the count's 2-0. Dalton Rushing can't play defense anymore this year because of his injury. That one catches the top of the strike zone. Rushing has a UCL, I don't know if it's a sprain or a tear. He may bat for the Dodgers at some point, but I mean, when he did well at the plate, it was kind of in small spurts. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. And he did have clumps where he looked good. And then he had other stretches where he looked bad. He had like, I think at one point he was 0 for 17 or something. But Rushing wasn't any better behind the plate against people trying to steal on him. So that one's fouled back, and the count's 2-2. At least these guys give better effort behind the plate, and they're less. Trying to think of a nice way to put this. They're less interested in putting the spotlight on themselves. And this one has popped up, and it looks like it's going to be shallow center field. Rojas is going back. And Pajes gives up to him as Rojas makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Yes. Oh, you want to come up? Okay. Ready up. Oh, come on. So, a pattern once again repeats where the Dodgers are behind early, although they've only been up once, and their top 3 batters in the batting order all struck out. We'll see what happens at the bottom of the 2nd, but now it's Kansas City 1 and the Dodgers 0. Just scratch me in the face. All right, so you saw it. Kyle Tucker set to come up, and we said in the preview. What are you doing? I know, I was gone all day. He's batting in the cleanup spot. I see you. I see you. Yes, I said hi. Don't jump over my shoulder. That road leads to pain. Over my shoulder. So Tucker is batting .241 on the season. He's got 11 home runs. I'd say close to half of them have been second half of the game. Well, less than second half of the games that have been played so far. Nice jump. Yeah, he missed me. I was gone all day. And the early count to Tucker is 1-1. And he swings and misses at that one. Counts 1-2. Charlie says bye. This one is grounded right over second base. And Witt Jr. is right there. Like they knew exactly where it was going to go based on statistics from the past. That's going to bring up Mookie Betts, who gets some cheers because of last night. Taking me a second to reset this. Last night he had a solo home run, and that was the only run that the Dodgers had for several innings. And then he had a double and a crucial single. This first pitch misses just barely for a 1-0 count. And this one is blasted to left center. They're jogging back, but they can see right now that is gone. Home run by Mookie Betts, who is officially on a roll. And he ties it up with one swing. Wow, last night, first at bat home run. Tonight, also a home run. And does a little Freddie behind home plate before he disappears into the grass. So just like that, it's tied up, and here comes Max Muncy. Muncy's been the person who's had the final word in both of the last two games. Last night he had the hit in the bottom of the 10th that scored Shohei Ohtani and walked it off for a Dodgers victory. And blasts this one, and it's going to curve foul. And it's going to be a long strike. And then 2 nights ago, late in the game, I think it was 7th or 8th inning, bases loaded with 2 outs, and he hits a double and brings in 3 runs. People just go nuts. That one is flied high, and it's not going anywhere. As it looks like Witt Jr. catches that one as well, and 2 away. Now Teoscar Hernandez set to come up. Batting in the 7th spot, he's batting .250. And that one's way inside for ball 1. Mookie looks so comfortable and light and confident. It really kind of looks like officially the monkey's off his back. Oh, that one misses even further inside for ball 2. Yeah. Like, let it hit you, dude. Teo's not a small person. Why are you jumping out of the way? You can see on 3D, look at this front leg right here. He's got a whole shield right there. Where are you going, dude? And that one, he fouls off. And this one is grounded in the hole, but at third base, Rojas gets over there, shovels it up, does a spin, and throws to first for the 3rd out of the inning. But thanks to the hot Mookie Betts and a solo home run, Dodgers tie it up. And at the end of 2, it's 1-1. You just saw it. Bobby Witt Jr. is up. And Lauer's going back to work. And that one's fouled off, but good placement again by Lauer. He's kind of dancing around the strike zone in a good way, showing pretty good control. Next pitch on the way. And fouled back. Look at that one. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at where that ball is placed. Right there on the corner of the strike zone. So it's 0-2. Would have been 0-2 whether Witt swung and fouled it off or not. This is one of the cool things I like about the 3D too. It shows the path of the ball, which is really cool. It's very difficult to see it on TV unless they have the right angle and it's replayed. But strikes out Witt. Had a baby Lauer. It was a check swing, but they said he went. And now the three-hitter, Keglianon, is coming up, who's 0 for 1. He had a close call, though. First time up, he blasted one that just curved foul by a few feet. Could have easily been a home run. But Lauer starts him in a hole. And after that one's fouled back, it's 0-2. Next pitch, also fouled off. And it's really good to see Mookie Betts kind of fit a pattern. And he talked about this in the post-game interview yesterday. After having really being the engine of the Dodgers offense yesterday with multiple RBI. This Fiducia is going to come out and talk to Lauer about strategy. And he had a couple of multi-game hits over the last month, but then he'd have some games where he was over. But it seems like that space between the multi-hit games is getting shorter and shorter for Mookie. Of course, you'd much rather have him do it later in the season than in the early part of the season if you have to take a choice. But it was a real struggle. I mean, he was way below 200. For much of the first quarter of this season. And this one is chopped back, and after Lauer makes contact, the ricochet goes to Mookie Betts, and he throws the ball away. Mookie has not, for all the praise we're giving him on offense, lately he's been sloppy on defense. And, I haven't watched his throwing motion enough this season, but he's throwing it. He's got his elbow in tight, and from that tightened in position, he's also throwing kind of 3/4 almost sidearmed. Now, I can't say that, you should never throw like that as Perez comes up. And he boops it into right field, and because of the error leading to that runner going to second base, he's going to score. So now Kansas City gets a run again up on the Dodgers. And it was a nice job by Perez poking that ball that was in the outside of the strike zone into right field, where he could see clearly there was a big hole. I mean, you can see the holes there again right now. Guy playing right behind second base is a second baseman, but usually they kind of split the difference. At least traditionally, they split the difference. And these guys will shift to our left if the batter's on the left, and they shift to the right when the batter's on the right screen. So nice job by Perez recognizing that and saying, hey, I'm going to poke it to right field, and I don't have to have a lot of juice on it. And that's exactly what happened. He gets an RBI as a result of it. So now Marte is up, who's 0 for 1. And only one out with Perez at first base. This one misses high for ball 2, 2-1. This one is contacted and dribbles through the hole to left field where Teoscar Hernandez picks it up, but another hit for the Royals. And now they have runners at first and second. It's still only one out. So now Kansas City has 2 runs on 4 hits. And timely hits at that. Coming up next is the 6-hitter, Jensen, who's 0 for 1. And that one misses well high for ball 1. Next pitch on the way to Jensen, misses outside. Now the count's 2-0. So Lauer finds himself in an increasingly higher pressure pickle. It is early in the game. And this pitch is swung on and missed by Jensen. The next pitch from Lauer to Jensen is struck into right field, and Tucker makes the catch quickly so that the runner at second had no chance on that line drive to tag up and go to third. In fact, he was kind of booking it to get back to second and not get doubled up to end the inning. So now the 7-hitter, Collins, comes up, who's 0 for 1. Batting .235 on the season. Lauer checks and delivers a high fastball, about 98 miles an hour, but missed. And they're actually showing the replay, and it looks like the bat made contact. And I think that's a delay. Maybe the umpire is asking somebody to review it. And they do, and they overturn themselves. Okay, good credit for that. So the count's 0-1. And the next one swung on and missed, 0-2. So where I blame Lauer completely, almost completely, the first run, I don't completely blame him for this second run. And the next pitch on the way is fouled really high up. And the catcher is going to go back and make the grab for the third out of the inning. But that umpire, rightfully, checking with the computer system and instant replay system, figuring out that that was actually a strike, was the good thing to do, the right thing to do. And in a weird way, kind of an awkward thing to do if you think about it, because it's, you know, relying on the replay system to say, yeah, I think I missed that call. It's almost like when you see these companies that go out of business, they go bankrupt. And in their death throes, when they're trying to just get rid of all their inventory, you have these people that are about to be out of a job, helping customers sift through all the deals that they can find now, because the company's just trying to offload their inventory and ultimately accelerating their demise. I mean, to me, the home plate umpire is not going to, I don't think we'll have one in the 2030s. Don't. I think in the next 4 or 5 years, it's going to be gone. Computer's going to make them obsolete. That's why he's practicing catching right now. I'm just kidding. 3D glitch. And as you just saw, Hunter Fiducia is going to get the next crack at Lynch the fourth. And Lynch has done a pretty solid job so far. But as we said in the beginning, he's not normally a starting pitcher. He comes out of the bullpen as a reliever. And so even more impressive as Fiducia fouls that one off. But he's done a solid job. But because he's normally a reliever, and relievers don't, it's really unusual for them to pitch 3 innings. It's unusual for them to pitch 2 full innings. The Royals have a reliever up in the bullpen, Warren, who will most likely replace Lynch next inning, if not earlier. Misses outside, and the count's 1-2. This one is grounded, and Witt goes all the way to the other side of second base, picks it up, and throws to first. So 1 away. And some pretty warm cheers for the 9-hitter coming up, Miguel Rojas, who's batting .287. And since June 10th, he's batting like .380. I don't know why Dave Roberts doesn't use him more and put him up further in the lineup. And that first pitch misses. Shohei Ohtani on deck, who's 0 for 5 in his last 5 at-bats. And that one catches the strike zone. Counts 1-1. That one is fouled to the left and out of play. And the count's 1-2. As Rojas apparently juggles his bat with his feet on the way back to the box. And this one is lined past the third baseman. Bounces fair inside of the foul line and curls into the corner for a double. And Miguel Rojas with another hit. Play this guy more. Thanks for allowing me to rant, guys. Play the guy more, please. So Shohei Ohtani comes up. And swings at the first pitch. This one's going high and it's going far. Rojas is watching it, but we're all watching it go bye-bye. And the 0 for 5 mini streak is over as Shohei Ohtani hits a towering shot for a home run. And the Dodgers retake the lead. And that is Shohei Ohtani's 8th home run hit on the first pitch this year. And bye-bye to Lynch. Thanks for playing, Lynch. Did a decent job. But like they used to tell my kids when they went to preschool, check your cubby, Lynch. See you in the next one. Dodgers is right. And the Royals do not have the energy for slam dancing right now. That's a little disappointing. We had a good one last night. Looks like they're shaking around. We're going to see in a moment here who is going to take over. And as you just saw, looks like it's going to be Jose Cuas again, who doesn't know how to wear his hat on straight. For some reason, as it's over to the side. But like this old song says, whatever. It's all about the dub. Getting a sweep would definitely be good momentum going into the next 4 games. Yes, 4 games against the team with the best record in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. So that's tomorrow. All we have right now is today, and Andy Pages coming up. He's 0 for 1 and looks at that one for a strike. Pitch from Cuas to Pages, sidearmed, and he blasted to right field for a hit. So maybe a little hit parade starting up for the Dodgers. And Pages does the Freddie right before Freddie comes up. I can't remember the last time Freddie Freeman hit a home run. That one gets fouled back for strike 1. Cuas has pitched in 8 games this year. His ERA is about 2. I think it's in fact exactly 2.00. This is a sweeper that just misses inside, so the count's 1-1. On this pitch, Andy Pages is trying to steal second, and he's caught trying to steal. Although he's staying on base because the Dodgers are going to challenge this. Boy, sure looked from this angle like he was safe. Let me see the close-up replay. Looks like he was safe there too. Nope, call's confirmed. Well, I have to see that from a third angle. So now with Freddie up, nobody on and 2 outs. And that one's fouled back. And the count's full, 3-2. And that one is grounded foul just to the right of first base. So the count remains full to Freddie. And so is that one. Back to the other side. So Freddie battling. Struck out last time. Didn't look very good. Holy smokes. If you swing at that one, forget it. That had to be 3 feet outside. This is the unpredictability about a sidearm thrower. He walks Freddie Freeman. Well, Kyle Tucker comes up with a runner on. 2 outs. This is one of the things the Dodgers have done better the last 2 games. Hitting and scoring with 2 outs. During the 7-game losing streak, it seemed like it was always other teams doing that and not us. Tucker swings and misses at the first pitch. This one is also a strike. Swung on and missed, and now the count is 0-2. Freddie Freeman, not much of a threat to steal. And this pitch is high for ball, 1-2. Next pitch, fouled back, and the catcher's not able to hang on to it. And so the count's still 1-2. And that one's fouled back. So Quas is up to 16 pitches already. If I remember correctly, I think there was one the other night when Quas was in where he double clutched. So like he pulled up his left leg and his left knee like he was going to throw, like all pitchers throw, and then paused. He like froze there for a half second, and then he pitched. Like he was trying to throw the timing off of the batter. And that one misses way inside. Almost as bad as the ball that walked Freddie. Freddie will be running on this one. It's full count, 2 outs. And the full count pitch from Quas to Tucker. Swung on a miss for strike 3. See Freddie running back there? Not very fast. Love Freddie. He's an awesome player and an awesome person from all points. But running fast ain't his thing. However, hitting home runs is Shohei's thing, and it's been a while. But he got it done this inning for 2 runs thanks to the double ahead of him by Miguel Rojas. And now at the end of 3, the Dodgers take the lead again. And it's been back and forth, back and forth. Who knows where this game's going to go? At the end of 3, it's the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 3. And if you have not already tonight, now is the perfect time to vote in the chat about what you think's going to happen. Take my face off so you can see this. There you go. This is a poll question that was pretty interesting last night, and we were all wrong. We all picked two that the Dodgers were going to hold on. Right now, that is getting the lead for votes tonight. But currently, if you think by the end of this game, after all the dust and smoke is settled, if you think the Dodgers are going to come back and win from being down, put 1 in the chat. If you think the Dodgers are going to hold on for victory, put 2 in the chat. 3 if you think it's going to go to extra innings, which it did last night, and nobody voted for that. Or 4 if you think the Royals are going to win. We'll be right back. And as you see, Tolbert's back in. Tyler is right now, so far, guy that drew a walk and scored a run with his speed. Able to, after the walk from Lauer, steal second base, and then on a base hit to right field. It wasn't even worth it to try to throw home because the guy is so blazing fast. And that one misses low for a ball. Tolbert's the kind of guy you got to attack. I mean, he's 8th in the lineup for a reason. If he had a higher batting average, he was more productive with the bat in his hands. They'd move him up to like the 1st or the 2nd spot. You'd have to, because he's so dangerous on the base paths. And Lauer strikes him out here. And I think that is Lauer's 4th strikeout. So that'll bring up the 9-hitter Rojas. And Lauer deals that one, and it looks like the other Rojas is going to be able to make that catch without any problem, and he does. And just like that, there's 2 away. Thanks for joining us in LA Press Box. If you haven't already tonight, go ahead and click like, please. We're a new channel trying to get off the ground, and we had a great time last night. Had a lot of people come in. Community connected together. It was really cool. Now we go to the top of the lineup with Lofton and 2 outs. Lofton's 0 for 2. This is inside. And if you haven't already, put in the chat a 1 if you're rooting for the Dodgers and a 2 if you're rooting for the Royals. Everybody's welcome. Lofton's batting .243 on the season as that pitch is low. And now the count to him is 2-1. Just joining us, you just missed some of the fireworks, not all of the fireworks. But the most recent fireworks was Shohei Ohtani hitting a 2-run home run after Miguel Rojas in the 9 spot hit a double just in front of him. And maybe that's part of the mad scientist strategy that Dave Roberts was trying to employ. the pitch from Lauer is swung on and grounded to Mookie Betts. And you can see how he throws sidearm. And I still don't like that. That should be drilled right into the chest of Freddie Freeman when he throws to first. And Freddie had to bend down to get it. But, you know, you really don't want to mess with a player's mechanics in any sport right in the middle of the event unless you absolutely have to. Or it can make them self-conscious and make them worse. But we're going to go to the bottom of the fourth after that quick 1-2-3. And the Dodgers lead 2-3. And Mookie Betts is coming up, who's on a roll and already hit a solo home run tonight. Just like last night, first run for the Dodgers on the scoreboard. Fouls that one off. Quas still in there. And that one misses high for a ball. Mookie really feeling it. That one misses way low and outside. And that one is hit high and then drops in the perfect spot, deep left center. And Mookie's aboard again with another base hit. When it rains, it pours in a good way. He just happened to hit it right in the perfect spot. Everybody was converging on it, but nobody could get to that one spot. And so, lead hitter is on with nobody out, and here comes Max Muncy. Max is 0 for 1 and jumps back a little bit on that one. That's 1-0. And that one swung on a miss. Good pitch from Quas. Take a peek over here and see if Mookie's getting any kind of a lead. I mean, he's got enough speed to steal, but, you know, he's a veteran. He's getting a little bit older, and he's short of the first cut. He's not looking to steal. Kind of stretch his lead. That one catches the outside of the strike zone. Another good pitch from Quas. And what's smart by Quas is stay away from Max Muncy. If you're going to pitch him inside, you got to pitch him well inside and get him to just foul it off or miss. But if it's inside in the strike zone, you're really playing with fire. That was high and swung on and fouled back. Because Muncy loves to turn on inside strikes and either strike a home run, hit it to right center, or blast it into the corner for a double or a triple. This one is grounded to second base. Going to pick it up and shovel it to second. They're going to try to throw to first in time for the double play. And they do. By a couple of inches. Good stretch by the first baseman. Going on. Looks like with that stretch, he might have pulled his foot off the bag, but nobody saw it, nobody challenged it. So instead, nobody on and 2 outs all of a sudden after the double play. And that brings up Teoscar Hernandez, who's 0 for 1. And they say that one caught the strike zone. Counts 0-1. That one right down the pipe, and Teoscar does nothing with it for strike 2. And the next one, outside, and Teo has really shown that he'll chase stuff like that, and he does it again for strike 3. So at the end of 4, it is the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 3. So Lauer runs back out there again, having only given up 2 runs so far. The last time he was on the mound, this is where the road ended. He was in more trouble against the Chicago Cubs at this point. I was going to face Witt Jr. first. Witt already has a double. He's 1 for 2. And that one misses inside for a ball. This one is popped to center field. Andy Pages on his horse. And he's able to come up shallow to his left and make the catch. So Caglione coming up. He's 0 for 2, although he had a narrow miss. Almost a home run in his first at bat. Curled left and foul. And so far, so quiet. But each of the last 2 nights, get him, Charlie. He's on night duty. Each of the last 2 nights, he's been a handful for the Dodgers. That one misses outside. Next pitch on the way from Lauer to Canglione. And fouled back and well placed. So Lauer's had a number of pitches tonight that have just danced around the edge of the strike zone. And I say that in a good way. Sometimes you dance around the edge of the strike zone and you miss. But they've really been well placed. And the movement around the strike zone has really kept a lot of these batters off balance. This pitch is low and the count's 2-2. Pitch from Lauer, and it's flied to right where Kyle Tucker is, who's been very busy tonight. But only had to take 2 steps there to catch that one, and there's 2 away. So that'll bring up Perez, who's 1 for 1 tonight. He was hit by a pitch early and took it like a tank. It started a little bit of a discussion about how maybe that should happen a little more often, whether you're a big guy or not. Especially when it hits you on the padding, and you know it's going to hit you there. They have all kinds of stuff. You can see on his front left leg, he's got a shield there. Shin guard / foot guard, because it extends over the top of his foot. That can be really painful when you foul the ball into your foot. But you almost never get hit by a pitch down there. And last time he was up, with the defense shifted over just like it is right now, you can see the second baseman shifted over to our left, because that's what side of the plate Perez is standing on, the left side. He just stuck his bat out there and poked it into right field, right over here between Freddie and Miguel. That one misses way outside and high. Counts 1-2 to Perez. That one is high and swung on by Perez and fouled back. Now Lauer is up to 87 pitches. Right? And this one is grounded to Mookie Betts, picks it up and does his sidearm. This time he does deliver it right to the chest. So it makes me a little bit happier and less nervous for the third out. And speaking of outs, Lauer has now retired 8 Royals in a row. And we're at the half point of this game with the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 3. Royals are bringing in Mason Black, who has an upper 3+ ERA. And he's going to face the bottom of the Dodgers lineup with Hunter Fiducia. Black has pitched in 13 games this year, 22 innings, 17 strikeouts, and 14 walks. What you usually want to see with a reliever is that the opponent batting average is really close to 200. Well, this is well above that. Opponents are batting 256 against him. First pitch to Fiducia is low for a ball, 1-0. That one's low, 2-0. Pitch. And Fiducia strikes this one deep. It's carrying deep. It's going to be gone for a home run. Hunter Fiducia's first home run as a Dodger. Good for him. That was a good 4 or 5 rows up in right center. So he got all of that. That's only his 3rd home run of the year. Black starts with a black spot on his record. So goofy. So it's going to bring up Miguel Rojas, who looks at the first pitch for a strike. And this one is struck into right center. The center fielder, Tolbert, is running. Oh, and uses that blazing fast quickness and his athleticism to lay out and make a catch. That would have been at least a single, probably a double for Miguel Rojas. Nice job. And that brings up Shohei Ohtani, fresh off an at-bat where he hit a 2-run home run. That one dusts him back just a little bit. And the count early to him is 1-0. Next pitch. This is just outside for ball 2. Before his last at-bat, in his first at-bat tonight, he looked at strike 3 and did not look good. He was 0 for 5 until that home run. Swings and misses there. Next pitch, all the ball. But Kansas City's catcher taps his head and says, no, I want to challenge that. I think that was a strike. And the challenge is correct. So instead of a 3-1 count, now Ohtani is seeing 2-2. Steps into the box, then back out. Talks with the umpire and gets back to work. Next pitch. This is high, almost in the same spot that dusted him back before, and the count's full. Payoff pitch coming from Black to Ohtani. And Ohtani hits a rocket to first, but Caglione was just standing right there. And that could have easily been a double. Just happened to hit it to the wrong place at the wrong time. 109 miles an hour off the bat. And now Andy Pages comes up. Pages 1 for 2 tonight. His average ticked up just 1 point to 271. His first pitch misses low and outside. And that one misses as well. Counts 2-0. Pitch from Black. It's a check swing, goes right back to him. He's sprinting to first and then ultimately shovels it there to Caglione for the third out of the inning. But the Dodgers get another run on the board from the home run, thanks to the home run by Hunter Fiducia. This is his second stint with the Dodgers, but his first home run ever with them. Now, at the end of 5, it's Kansas City 2 and LA 4. So at this point, at the top of the 6th, the Dodgers and Lauer are right where they want to be. Fell behind early, but made up for it. A 2-run lead, and their starting pitcher in this case, Lauer, going deeper into the game than he did his last outing. And if he can complete this inning without giving up any more runs, I'd say that's probably a good space to be. It'd be great if he can go another one after this, but I don't think he's got more than 100 pitches in him, and he's already at 90. That one's fouled back, and the count's 1-1. And that one swung on and missed. And the count's 1-2 to Marte. Marte is 1 for 2 tonight. Hitting .248 on the season, and that one misses well inside. Count evens up, 2-2. And that one barely foul tipped back, and Marte stays alive. Another 2-2 pitch on the way from Lauer. And this one's hit right back to him, and he backhands it. He's able to catch it with his back turned. after the follow through and then shovels it to first base where Freddie Freeman easily collects it for the out. Miguel Rojas is going, wow, wow, wow. And Kike Hernandez in the dugout cheering him on like he does with so many people. Speaking of which, I haven't seen Kike for a bit. Jensen comes up and flies it to left. Shouldn't be any trouble for Teoscar. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Just like that, there's 2 away. And this is exactly what we've been asking for. Not just a good, solid outing, but good, solid, boring baseball when we're on defense if you're a Dodgers fan. That's what it's been the last few innings. Like, no stress. No drama. Two outs, Collins comes up. He's flied out and fouled out. And that one catches the upper edge of the strike zone. Once again, Lauer showing really good control and walking those edges. Next one is called a ball. And Hunter Fiducia challenges. Dude, why are you challenging right now? We have one challenge. They're only 2 runs behind. Nobody's on base. Nobody's threatening to score. I put that on Dave Roberts. You should not be giving a very mediocre catcher the green light to challenge in that kind of situation. It's the kind of stuff that can catch up and bite you in the butt late. That one misses. And the count's 2-1. Next pitch. Blasted early, but foul to the left of third base. Once he just looks at it. And the next pitch. Looks like it's right there on the corner. Now the count is 3-2 with 2 outs. Lauer trying to finish this inning off. And does not with that pitch. That misses for ball 4. Now he's thrown 101 pitches. So this, one way or another, will definitely be the end for Lauer. He won't be back next inning. But hopefully, he's able to put an end to whatever rally idea the Royals have. Although when Tolbert comes up, I'm always a little bit scared, especially if he gets on base. Although there is a runner in front of him that will keep him from stealing. That one catches the outside edge of the strike zone. So Lauer has been doing pretty much all night. Holbert's walked and scored a run. Also, as we said, stolen a base. Count to him right now is 1-1. And the Royals manager is saying that the ball hit the batter, but he's not acting like he got hit, and the replay doesn't, it looks like it narrowly missed. That's weird, because they're all the way in the dugout. And you would think that, of course, if a batter gets just brushed at all by the ball, he'll say, no, I was hit. I need to take the base. So I can't see this manager challenge being successful. don't think the 3D shows, yeah, they don't show anybody in the dugout. That was kind of silly. And the challenge is unsuccessful. Call confirmed. Ball did not hit Tolbert. So the count's 1-1 with 2 outs and a runner at first. And Lauer trying to finish on a positive note after good work tonight. This pitch is a big looping curveball. Tolbert blasts it, but it's going to hook. I should say push. It's a golf term. Push foul. Slice foul. There we go. Slice foul. And the count's 1-2. Hooks to the left, slices to the right. Pitch. This is just low. Ooh, boy, that was a narrow one. And the count's 2-2. This one is foul to the right. Count stays 2-2. Today, the Padres beat the Milwaukee Brewers again. They're set to visit Dodger Stadium tomorrow. Lauer trying to end this inning right now. And does so. Gets Tolbert swinging with the cutter. And that's going to be it for Lauer. He's over 100 pitches, done a nice job. A little bit of trouble from time to time, but so efficient, such good placement. And now we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. And the Royals still trailing 2-4. So Freddie Freeman getting set to face Mason Black. And the Royals have made a substitution, Luke Melee, in for Perez behind the plate. As Freddie Freeman looks at the first pitch for a ball. Oh, they actually called it a strike. That one, they say, missed. So I guess all is end. Well, it ends well. And the count's 1-1. That one just catches the strike zone. 1-2. That one is lined to left center, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. And that's what Freddie's been doing throughout the hitting streak that he's had recently. He's going the other way and not trying to pull the ball and get a lot of force, but that's how he's got so many hits. It's also a reason I think that he hasn't been hitting home runs recently. So that'll bring up Tucker. Al Tucker's over 2 tonight. He swings at the first pitch, and it's flied high, but very playable over and right. And 1 away. So Mookie coming up on a roll. Going all the way back to yesterday. And now tonight he's 2 for 2 with a solo home run. And he just lets that pitch go right down the middle of the pipe. Next pitch on the way. Just misses. Boy, some of these are just like less than an inch one way or another. And this is the first time I can remember in a long time where it's like I can't tell whether it's a ball or strike until after I get the official count. That one's well inside, and the count's 2-1. Pitch also misses. And now the count's 3-1 to Mookie Betts. Black to Betts, and that one's in there. It counts full now with 1 out and a runner at first. Nice to have the Dodgers not only with a lead as Mookie fouls that one into the ground left of third base, but also just be leading in hits overall. Like decisively more productive at this point in the game, especially. We're not even in the 7th inning yet. Black throws to first where Freddie Freeman, not the fleetest of foot, on first. And Freddie's running on that one. They have some kind of tell. I don't know what it is. How would you know that Freddie Freeman was trying to steal or go on a hit and run? And that one misses high. Freddie was running again. Because it misses high and it's ball 4, it's not worth it to try to throw down. And with 1 out, there's runners on first and second. And Max Muncy coming up, who you hope fits the pattern of late, which is 0 for until this point in the game. Then he gets a big hit. He's 0 for 2. And that one misses outside for ball one. And that one's grounded to first, and Caglione only has one place to go, and that is to first. Steps on the bag for the second out of the inning, but Muncie moves the runners along. And with Teoscar Hernandez coming up, he's got two runners in scoring position. Teo's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. And the strikeout was a typical one for him, where he's chasing a ball outside the strike zone. That misses. And this one is grounded to first. And Caglione gets it. He's already playing pretty wide of the bag and steps on it for the third out of the inning. So at the end of 6, it's the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 4. Oh boy. I do not agree with this. I mean, I know that the Dodgers have had quite a few starting pitchers over the last several weeks not go deep into games, and the middle relievers have been a little bit overused. But Eric Lauer, although he's pitched well, is now at 107 pitches, and they're sending him back out there again. This is well high for ball one. And maybe they're just going to put him in there for this one at bat, a lefty on the lefty. I don't know. But that one's in there for a strike, 1-1. Next pitch, foul back, 1-2. This is the 9-hitter, Rojas, who's 1 for 2 tonight. He has an RBI single. Pops that one back. Josh Rojas is batting 243. And the next pitch, swung on and missed. Great job, Eric Lauer. And that's going to be it for him. Applause all around with the players and the fans at Dodger Stadium. His 6th strikeout. And Dave Roberts just took advantage of that one good matchup. Lefty on lefty. And we'll see who's set to relieve Eric Lauer shortly. And it looks like it's going to be Knack. So Knack comes in after Lauer pitched 112 pitches, more than any other Dodger starter this year. And a great rebound from the outing he had against the Chicago Cubs. And Knack's going to face Lofton. Lofton is 0 for 3 tonight. Knack wearing number 96. And this one is fly to Andy Pages for the 2nd out of the inning. And the next next opponent for Knack will be Bobby Witt Jr., who's 1 for 3 with a double. Knack has a 9-run ERA, but he's pitched very, very little. That one is fouled back, and he's ahead on Witt early, 0-2. And that one's high, well high for ball 1, 1-2. This one on the edge of the strike zone and line to right field for the 2nd hit of the night for Bobby Witt Jr. So with 2 outs, Knack gives up a hit. And Caglione comes up, who's 0 for 3. He's also due. That one misses low for ball 1. Pitch. blasted at the head of the second base umpire, and it's going to send Witt Jr. all the way around from first to third. And with 2 outs, Knack gives up 2 hits, and the tying run is on first. And Lauer's looking at Knack going, come on, dude, come on. And it doesn't look like they're going to pull him quite yet. Letting the pitching coach go out there, but not Dave Roberts with the hook. And hopefully this is the right decision. And he's going to face the 4-hitter, Male, in 278 with 1 home run. Maley, excuse me. Come on, Knack. Just get 1 out. 1 out. Pitch from Knack. And that one is grounded to first. Freddie Freeman sprints over, backhands it, and then sprints back to first base. And danger averted. And just like that, the Royals now are down to their final 6 outs. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 4. So Black coming back, and he's going to face Hunter Fiducia, who hit his first home run as a Dodger. After that solo home run, he is 1 for 2 on the evening. Fiducia's in the 8th spot, and takes that pitch right down the middle for a strike. And that one looked a little bit low, but it's called a strike, and Fiducia can't do anything about it because we don't have any challenges. Andy Pajes burned one early, and Fiducia burned one for himself. This pitch on the way, and swung on a missed. Strike 3 on Fiducia. So that brings up the 9-hitter, Miguel Rojas. 1 for 2. Hit a double and scored a run. And Shohei Ohtani hit a 2-run home run. It's the first pitch, high for ball 1. Rojas swings at that one and almost kind of does the splits. I mean, he lost his balance and then it got caught behind him. He's slow to get up, trying to shake it off. So the count's 1-1. Whoa, and that one was right near his chin. Oof, that was whoa. If he didn't limbo back like that, he would have been hit square in the head. And this one, slider away. And that's a tale as old as time, where a pitcher comes in high and tight with a fastball, tries to shake a hitter off the plate, and then throws it away. And that next pitch is also low for ball 4. So Rojas is going to walk, and with 1 out, and Rojas on first, Shohei Ohtani coming up. So Ohtani, he jumps out because once he was in the box, he took too much time. The pitcher Black took too much time, and it was an automatic ball. And the next pitch is lined into right center. And it's going to be a hit, and Miguel Rojas is rounding second. He's going to go from first to third. So Shohei with the Freddie, with the Dodger dance. And the headbutt of the first base coach. Can't show you all that in short order. But with 1 out now, the Dodgers have runners at first and third. And Andy Pages coming up, who's already 1 for 3. Andy is not running to the mound. All the infielders are. Have a little conference about how to approach this situation. See if we can listen in. This is a situation where Ohtani can try to steal. He's not completely banned from doing such this season. And the first pitch from Black, this is outside. That's 1-0. Pitch just clips the upper outside of the strike zone for strike 1, and the count's 1-1. And that one's in there for strike 2. And that one's fly to right. It's going to be shallow. And Rojas is not tagging. Ohtani's caught in between first and second in no man's land, and Rojas is not going to be able to run home in time. They tag Ohtani, and that ends up being a double play in the end of the inning. And that was some poor base running, to say the least, because all it was a fly ball to right field. And poor miscommunication in general, poor communication. And at the end of 7, it's the Royals 2 and the Dodgers 4. So instead of Starling Marte, Rave is coming in as a pinch hitter. And Knack is in there again. Why didn't they not have somebody else that's more efficient? Making me nervous. And that one is hit deep to right field. Kyle Tucker's going back, but he's going to make the catch short of the wall. Never a dull moment when these pitchers are on. And one away in this inning. So Jensen's up, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Batting only .222. And he's in the 6th spot. That one swung on, missed, and the count's 1-2. And that one misses, 2-2. And this one is flied very high, and Knack looks around, then he looks up, and oh my gosh, and just lets it drop. Oh my gosh, get this guy out of here. Get this rookie out, just get off the mound and let the defense do what they do. Ugh. Come on, man. He looks so nonchalant. It's like he was trying to not look overwhelmed. And so now with 1 out, there's a runner at first. Collins comes up. Dodgers are only up by 2 runs. That one's a strike, 0-1. That was terrible. Terrible. He didn't even get a glove on the ball. And that one misses for a ball. Now, to be fair, those are hard to catch. they curve. If you've never played baseball, this is one of the things that good coaches will do with you early when you're learning the game, when you're a little kid, is that if they have the ability to do this, a lot of coaches can't, but they will hit it off the bat intentionally straight up, and that's a very difficult thing to do. As that pitch misses, 2-1. And this one is flied foul high, and Freddie Freeman is going, and he falls into the dugout of the Royals. He just disappeared down the steps. Did not know the step was there. And the Royals and the first base coach are concerned. And so are the fans. Oh, but everybody's relieved to see him walk back out again. Holy smokes. I'm surprised he looks okay. He looks a little bit shaken up, but nothing serious. David Roberts booked it over there. Everybody had their hands on their heads like this. The whole surrender cobra look in the Dodger dugout. They thought that was a serious injury, and it's not. I mean, it's just like he was going over there to try to make the play, and the floor just dropped out from under him. It's okay, Charlie. It's okay. Showing this again. Oh, boy. At least he wasn't sprinting in there. He was kind of shuffling, and then his left foot slid off the top onto the first step, and then he just kept going. And this pitch from Knack is in there for strike 3. And the Royals are going to challenge this. But it's going to be confirmed. Good clutch pitch by Knack. So with 1 on, now there's 2 away. Now Freddie just chatting it up with the guy on first and smiling about the whole thing. And the Royals are going to pinch hit another guy. They're going to bring in Massey into the 8th spot, and they're going to have another conference on the mound with the pitching coach to say, hey, here's a scouting report on Massey, and this is what you need to do. Man, that was scary. As frustrated as I was at that dropped fly ball where nobody touched it, it was even more scary to see Freddie Freeman just disappear. So Massey comes up in this series being 1 for 8. He has scored a run. And he is a lefty, so he's going to get a decent look at Knack throwing the ball from the right-hand side. First pitch misses high for a ball, 1-0. Michael Massey is batting .259 on the season with 9 home runs. This one is swung on and missed, so the count's 1-1. And the next pitch, oh, that was wicked. That was a knuckle curveball. Only 70 miles an hour, dropped off the table. Wow, that's like not fair. Kind of see the potential with this guy Knack. Why they're sticking with him. Try to develop it. The next pitch fouled back. Massey barely got there in time. And the count remains 1-2 with 2 outs. And the next pitch from Knack to the pinch hitting Massey is strike 3, swung on and missed. Wow, huge pitch in a really important situation. And now the Royals are down to 3 outs. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's the Royals still stuck at 2, and the Dodgers have 4. So Freddie Freeman is set to come up. Confirm that he's fine to hit. And, this is a smart move. They're going to let Tommy Edman come in. Just as good in this situation as Freddie Freeman. It's better to be safe than sorry. Let the adrenaline just go away, be done for the night, ice him, do whatever you got to do. Make sure Freddie's fine. And so the Dodgers plug Tommy Edman in the 3rd spot. So Craig Kimbrell comes in relief. And Kimbrell is 5th all-time in baseball history for saves. Yeah, what was scary as Edman pops this one up for an easy out was Freddie Freeman. So there was a foul fly near first base, and he was running and looking up, not looking at where he was going to try to make that catch. And he just ended up running straight to where the steps are that go down in the dugout for the Royals and just disappeared, slipped and fell straight to the bottom. Somehow miraculously ended up being okay. Well, Kyle Tucker comes up and looks at that one for a ball. And Tucker in the 4th spot tonight's 0 for 3. It's weird because lately, for the last several weeks, as that pitch misses, and now it's 2-0, the 4 spot, which traditionally has been where you're supposed to have your scariest hitter, 3 and 4. 4 has always been known as the cleanup position, where ideally for a team early on especially, but also at the very end of the game, because the early part of the batting order gets the most at bats. Where the 4-hitter hopefully has somebody on first or first and second, and they're a power hitter that can hit for extra bases like a home run and clean up the bases, clear the bases, and bring home extra runs. But that's just not been whoever's been slotted in the 4th position, even if it's Freddie Freeman. You know, that's just not how it's played out for the Dodgers. The run production has been in the other spots in the lineup. Speaking of which, Mookie Betts is coming up. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a solo home run and a single. After Tucker walks, Mookie's got a runner on with 1 out. No, he did not catch the ball. But, I mean, you know it's serious when the Royals are, like, your opponent is worried about what's going to happen. And the Dodgers in the dugout were like, they had their hands on their heads like, oh, no. Dave Roberts just booked it over there, but he ended up being okay. I mean, he went right back in there to first base, just kind of chuckled and smiled at the guy that was standing there on first for the other team. That one gets fouled back, and the count to Mookie is 1-2. And this pitch is hit right back to Kimbrel. He actually lifted his leg and avoided the ball that went through his legs to second base, where they picked it up, step on second base, throw to first base for the double play. And that's the end of 8 innings. And at this point, as we go to the top of the 9th, KC is down to their final 3 outs. All right, the Dodgers are going to ride Knack. At least they're going to try to ride Knack the rest of the way. And it's been an adventure for this young buck who came into the game giving up, on average, get this, 9 runs a game. That was his average, but very, very limited opportunities. So the stats are skewed. And, boy, he gave up a couple of hits early. There was a pop-up that he just dropped, didn't even touch the ball. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster with him, but he's also shown some really good stuff, and he's fanned a couple of batters. His knuckle curve would look wicked. So we'll see if he can finish off the game. He's going to start with Josh Rojas in the 9th spot, who has an RBI single tonight. He's 1 for 3. That one misses. Pitch on the way. It misses inside 2-0. Pitch. So misses inside. Rojas a little tiny twitch, not really even a full check swing. And you do not want to walk this guy, especially with the top of the lineup for the Royals right behind him. That one's a strike, and the count's 3-1. Pitch on the way from Knack to Rojas. This is flied, and it's going to be in shallow left. They're going to communicate. Hopefully they communicate well, and they do. Teoscar Hernandez runs up, hauls off Mookie Betts, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And now the Royals are 2 outs away from getting swept. Lofton comes up again, who has been trouble up until tonight in this series, but he's 0 for 4 tonight. That pitch just outside for ball 1. That one also misses outside. Counts 2-0. Next pitch to Lofton is flied high, and this one's going to be another communication situation between an outfielder and an infielder. And once again, the outfielder, Pajes in this case, falls off the infielder and makes the second catch and the second out. Now, Witt Jr. comes up, who's 2 for 4 with a double tonight. He represents the only out between the Royals staying alive and the Dodgers sweeping them. That one catches the strike zone. And this one is popped in the same exact fashion to the right field area, and it is caught there as well. So one pop up to left field, shallow, the next one to center field, and the final one to right field to end the game and sweep the Royals. So really good, solid overall outing for the Dodgers, and really a feel-good game, starting with Eric Lauer, but also the offense, once again encapsulated by Mookie Betts, but also a home run, a 2-run home run in this case, by Shohei Ohtani. Hunter Fiducia also chips in with his first home run as a catcher for the Dodgers. And don't look now, but our starting pitching is starting to look really solid, especially with Lauer joining the mix. Yesterday, of course, you had Blake Snell throw a gem with 10 strikeouts. That's not something is really Lauer's deal, but he gave us what we all thought he could do. Tarek Skubal did a good one a couple of days ago, and we have some Japanese pitchers now coming back into the fold, the ones that we've kind of just been counting on to be able to build a starting rotation around, Yamamoto and Sasaki. So really, really good trend developing for the Dodgers now. And it wasn't even a one-run win. It was a 2-run win. And so now they've won 4 of 5, but they have a big series starting immediately tomorrow. 4 games in a row against the Milwaukee Brewers, who have the best record in baseball, at least before this game when I checked. But they lost the last 2 games to the Padres. But it's all about us at this point, as any championship program would tell you. But I appreciate you guys joining tonight, and I'm going to take 1 or 2 of these games off against the Brewers. I'm not sure exactly which ones of the 4 that are going to be played starting tomorrow in a row, because I might need to go out of state and take care of some business. So we're going to see how that plays out. So if I'm not here tomorrow or 1 or 2 games in the next 4 days, I will come back. But thanks to everybody that joined us tonight, and LA Press Box will be back soon. Have a good rest.